Hello, good afternoon, folks, or good evening, wherever you're watching. Good morning, even. We are in Turkey. It's Gaziantep, Turkey, and it's the Basketball Champions League. It's the game between Gaziantep and Neptunas Klaipeda. Well, here is the action so far in Group B. PAOK winning already yesterday over Lanchalon. That was somewhat of a surprise, perhaps, 90-81. MHP Rees and Lewisburg winning big over Ventspils, and Iberostar Tenerife rolling to a big win at Capo d'Orlando. And this one will finish up the play in Group B. Of course, those results have left Group B with Iberostar Tenerife and MHP Rees and Lewisburg up at the top. Each of those teams has 8 wins and 2 defeats. And right below them, you can see, they're both 9-2 now. Right below them, you've got Neptunas Klaipeda at 6-4. And Lanchalon now at 5-6, so they're pretty dicey. Ventspils missed a chance to climb last night with their loss. And you see PAOK are right back in it. Capo d'Orlando and Gaziantep. Well, Gaziantep would need to win, realistically, their last 4 games to have a shot to move on. So they need to win today, they need to win next week, the week after that, and the week after that. And, well, who knows? I mean, stranger things have happened. They just need to get on a roll. For Neptunas, who do we want to talk about? Brandon Cardell-Fields. Will be interesting to see him play for Kazis Makšvidas, the coach. Haven't seen him yet. They've got Sabudas, Zelionis, Galdikas, Jucikas, Beliauskas, Vytautas Šulskas, Delinakaitis, Kaselius, Jerry Johnson. You know, it's a team that's had some changes this year. They've had to part with some very good players, I think, to make ends meet, and have suffered as a result. But what hasn't changed from Neptunas is the passion and the fire that those guys play with, and also that undying support from their fans. For Gaziantep, it's been a tough old ride. Nene Markovic didn't start the season as a coach. In fact, he was at Iberostar Tenerife, and then he left. He's got some talent in this team. It's just a matter of getting these guys to play. Sean Armand, Victor Rudd, all the way down. Anybody that watches Gaziantep remarks that it's surprising that they could have the skill level that they've got, the talent level, and that they would only have a couple of wins so far. But you know, you gotta be very good at this level. You gotta play. You gotta work hard in practice. You gotta be on the same page. You gotta have good chemistry. There's so many different factors, and Gaziantep, it just hasn't worked for them this year. But I know that Coach Nene Markovic is a really good coach, and it might not happen for them to get into the playoffs. But, you know, if you are Neptunas, you're coming into this game ready to give your all to come out and win a game against a team that, quite frankly, you manhandled the previous time when they met earlier in the Basketball Champions League. Neptunas Klaipeda at the time looked like a team that would go on perhaps and even challenge for a spot in the Final Four. It hasn't been so much lately, but they're trying to find their feet following the departure still of Girgionis, Arnas Butkevicius, and Juan Palacios. But the first time this Gaziantep team played Neptunas, when they played in Lithuania, it was a horror show for the Turkish team. Neptunas won it 114-73. And they pretty much had their way from start to finish. And for Gaziantep, Roland Freimanis, a very important player. Carter, who we can expect to come out and be influential tonight. Hatsieva, Miller. They've had some changes. And now let's see if they can develop any type of chemistry. There's Nene Markovic. So Robert Lawrence Carter, 23 years of age, with a chance to make his mark with Gaziantep. Yuri Balazic, of course, the veteran forward. I love him. I love his play. The former Slovenia national team player. Mark Lyons now is gone. The point guard, things weren't working out for him with this team. John Ogut, you want to keep an eye on. Cameron Clark. And Patrick Dominique Miller, another newcomer from the United States, 25 years of age. So we'll look at the starting fives for both of these teams and talk more about what's happening in the Basketball Champions League. Neptunas again winning the first meeting with these two teams, 114-73. But as we saw last night, EV Baskets Oldenburg, having won against UCAM Murcia in the first game by 20 points, went to Spain and fell behind and ended up losing by 20. So from one game to the next, one game plan to the next game plan, one strategy to the next, you know, things happen. And you got to play the game. The referees for today, Anastopoulos Panagiottis, Gaziantep Haris, and Vojt from the Czech Republic, Tomislav. So Fields will be in the starting five with Kisielius, Sebudis, and this five will be perhaps explosive. They'll try to get after the opponents from the off. Zelionis, very important player in the grand scheme of things for Max Vitas. It's kind of one of those things, as Zelionis goes, so go Neptunas, I think you could say. There's Kazis Maxvidas, who's had to deal with a lot of, shall we say, turmoil because of the roster changes that were not performance related. Patrick Miller, Balazic, Carter, Rudd, and Armand in the starting five for Gaziantep. And you know, to underline the fact that I was making earlier, when you look at Sean Armand, you're looking at a very good player. So it's up to Markovic to try to get the best out of this Gaziantep team. Remember, he was coaching in Turkey last year against Pinar Karşıyaka. Excuse me, he was coaching for Pinar Karşıyaka, and they got really within a whisker of making it to the Final Four, but they lost in their quarterfinal series to Umana Rair Venezia.
Let's play first offense, Cat.
So again, the Vojt Tomislav from Croatia, Gaziantep Haris from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Anastopoulos Panagiottis are the referees for tonight's game at the Sahin Bey Karatas Sport Salonu. Say that 10 times, and you'll be the winner of the nightly prize. Already some of the results in the Basketball Champions League for this game day. We started yesterday. Juventus Udine winning 81-73 over NSC Krasnoyarsk. Besiktas won over Ches Nimburg 91-80. Monaco remained unbeaten, 87-55. I spoke to Elmedin Kikanovic today. What a great guy, the Bosnia-Herzegovina player who some people think has a chance to win the MVP honors. And he was stressing there's 2 seasons. You've got the regular season, you got the playoffs. He says Monaco has to be ready to go. We've got to realize that. We haven't accomplished anything. PAOK have won 90-81 yesterday again over Elan Chalon. Pinar Karşıyaka won 95-93 at Unet Holon. That was a real close one. MHP Rees in Lewisburg, 84-68 over Ventspils. Murcia won big over EVE Baskets Oldenburg. And Iberostar Tenerife 106-59 at Capo d'Orlando. Well, good evening, folks. If you're just tuning in, this is the Basketball Champions League, and it's the Group B game between Gaziantep and Neptunas Klaipeda. And already, right off the mark, Gaziantep come out and make a play. Good drive, good finish from Carter. Gelionis uncorks the three-pointer right away. Look at the fire and the emotion of Gelionis. Played for Ventspils last season, and he was kind of their undoing when Neptunas beat Ventspils. Oh, good penetration again. The wide-open jump shot is made by Rudd. So Miller immediately getting some penetration and making some sweet moves. And backdoor cut. Now Cebudas puts up another three and hits it. Rudd has it up high. Kiselius switches on him. Now Armand. He gets in the lane and looked like he kind of stumbled, but the call is going to go against Neptunas. Watch this. Does he step? Well, yeah, he may have made contact with Gaudicus. He certainly, Gaudicus impeded him, but looked like almost Armand dodged the contact and went down. Bounce pass inside to Carter again. No look pass over to Rudd. Long jump shot. And good job boxing out by Gaudicus. Sounds like we got a few coyotes inside the arena tonight. Here's Fields. And the ball bounces into the hands of Miller. Miller jump stop, puts it up. I'll tell you what, he's not put a foot wrong, has he? Goodness gracious. Just what they needed. A point guard playing under control, making the simple plays. Long jump shot. That was only a two from Cebudas, who started hot. Oh, Rudd went in for the putback dunk, but didn't convert it. He was wanting to get on the highlight reel. He must have been watching Chris Evans get up from Monaco. That was Evans-esque, or even Ovi Soko had a putback dunk last night for UCAM Murcia. Got some real high flyers in the Basketball Champions League. And the pressure by Armand, and that was great pressure. But the over and back call is going to be called on Cebudas, who was able to at least get a hand on it right. That was almost unfortunate for Gaziantep, because they would have had a layup. How about this guy, Miller? I like him. Long jump shot is good from Blazic. So they have started confidently. So this is Miller's first game for Gaziantep. And I'll tell you a little bit about him. He has played in Turkey before. Here's Cebudas on the baseline. It's good. Miller he comes from Chicago. That's a big basketball town. Played at Tennessee State. Then played for Besiktas in the 2014-15 season. Rudd with the long rebound. Played for Yeşil Giresun in 2015 in Turkey. Then went back to the NBA G League to play for Texas and Sioux Falls Skyforce. Here's another good shot, another powerful move inside from Carter. Carter Jr. Miller also went to Leones de Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic and then played for Partizan. At the start of the season, now he has moved. And coming inside, and Carter Jr. gets the block. Galdikas thought he was going to get a layup, and Carter Jr. said, in case you didn't know, this is my house. But he got a foul as well. Galdikas makes the first. He's the captain. Only makes one of two. It's Miller time, over to Carter, who misses. Now Armand gets it back. A little bit out of control, Armand. Now Field has it. And the putback from Gelionis, and he is fouled. Well, struggles at the free throw line for Neptunas. And that time Carter Jr. just completely clearing out Galdikas. Well, we're going to have to watch that matchup because clearly I'm not sure that Galdikas has faced anybody with the size of Carter Jr. this year. He is really throwing his weight around, his muscle. 12 apiece after the free throw by Gelionis. Now Rudd. Over to Carter Jr. Gelionis. The ball falls to Field. Cassielius had the look. Look at Galdikas keeping the ball alive, but giving away a cheap foul in the process. He is crucial to this team following the loss of Palacios, and they are calling the hold on him there. That's a good call by the ref. And the foul trouble is what really kills Neptunas. Galdikas has 2 fouls, has to come out of the game 5.5 minutes into the contest. So Šulskas has come into the game as the replacement for Galdikas. Here's Rudd. Fades and hits it. Fields spins, gets in the lane, puts it up, misses. Šulskas passes it back outside. His pass. Fields' pass almost intercepted by Miller. Now Sebutis drives in, passes it back outside. They get it to Šulskas in the right corner. He misses. Rudd. Šulskas has been bothered with a left calf injury. Actually limped out of last week's game. Now Delininakaitis comes into the game. So what's interesting about Robert Carter Jr. is that he started the season with Lietuvos Rytas in Lithuania, so he knows these players of Neptunas. Alley-oop pass! And it's flushed by Rudd. What a play! Has he top-5'd him? Oh, top 10, top 5, whatever, it's got to be there. Fields tries to answer Rudd with the rebound. Now on the open floor. Miller for 3. It's Miller time! 19-12. Boy, what a difference this team is now with Miller running the plays. He's brought some composure. And how about that Armand to Rudd?
Where are you? Not here, you are here. Big side here. Stop here, this guy, the thing should go back. Please, guys, play defense.
So some threes are falling for both teams and some field goals, but the problem for Neptunas is that Gaziantep are 8 of 15 inside the arc.
We cannot be here. If they play this pick, we cannot be here. Because like this, you got
Rebounding, Gaziantep out rebounding him, 8-5.
Like this, okay? If they attack, jump. Hey, listen. First, our offense, okay? Go, timeout, finish. Running.
Here's some of the highlights. You see Miller involved with a lot of those. Miller's already got 5 points, 3 assists, a rebound. They're +7 when he's on the floor, and +7 when Balazic, Miller, Carter, Rudd, and Armand are on the floor. So Fields brings it forward now. And the miss, and Carter Jr. with the rebound. Balazic, Rudd, Armand brings a little bit of rain. Well, don't forget, the first game was a complete annihilation between these two teams in Lithuania. Right now, it's Gaziantep that's doing the annihilating, up 10. And a foul turns it over. Well, the first time these two teams met, it was a very different story indeed. And it was pretty sure that was the game that Bukevicius got his triple-double. Here's Fields. Passes back outside to Šulskas. Šulskas gets inside. Oh, a good move, didn't finish. And that time, Ucikas was trying to score, and he had the ball knocked away. Rudd just turns and scores on the baseline. Boy, they are racing away right now. Jerry Johnson not Fields, running the floor. Kiselius, Jusikas. Kiselius misses the jumper. Armand to a wide open Blazic. Good! Jared Johnson wheeling and dealing, and do not get a shot off in time. Well, Neptunas just all out of sorts. Chinko comes into the game, and Gutsikas goes out. Jusikas, excuse me. So the final 12 seconds of the first quarter, a real horror show for Neptunas, but it's Gaziantep that's playing well. Armand puts up another three. Boy, almost got it to go. Shulskis' attempt is not going to count. Way after, doesn't make it anyway. And right now, it's Gaziantep that are turning the tables. They are up 27-12 on Neptunas Klaipeda. So the shooting numbers, 6 of 13 inside the arc. But look at that, 5 of 8 from deep for Gaziantep, and just a complete opposite for Neptunas. Well, what were the best plays for Gaziantep? I mean, I don't think we've said this all season long. What were the best plays of Gaziantep? I mean, they have scored 27 points in the first quarter. And I think that's it right there. Armand with the penetration. Rudd saw him coming, and he delivers it. Watch this. Perfect pass. Slam, wham, bam, jam, thank you, ma'am. Here it goes again. When it's good, you want to see it over and over. And certainly Neptunas don't want to see it. So trying to turn things around here at the start of the second quarter. Shulskis has it. Gets inside, takes the contact, and boy, if he could have made that, that would have been just what the doctor ordered, but he missed it. Nevertheless, he goes to the line. A couple of free throws. Roland Framinas picks up the foul. I'll tell you what, in modern basketball terms, a 15-point deficit really is nothing. I mean, you can erase that very quickly if you start getting some execution on both ends of the floor. Entry pass to Framinas. He gets in, and Delinakaitis grabs the rebound, and Jerry Johnson is fouled right as he gets to the line. Johnson to Galdikas, and it looks like it's a new Neptunas team. I wouldn't be surprised if Markovic called a timeout, because you can feel the momentum shifting. Armand, another open jumper. How many times does he have to hit it before you get a hand in the face? Bayram also in the game. Number 18 rather, and Chinko number 51 for Gaziantep. So another foul on, I think, Balazic. The veteran, and Balazic is going to come out. The interesting thing is, okay, if your club, say your Gaziantep this season as Hachieva comes in, you're Markovic, you've got a big name, you're so good that the champions hires their coach. Here's Sebutis. That doesn't go well for whatever reason, so you agree to part ways mutually, and you get snapped up immediately by Gaziantep. But when Markovic arrived at Gaziantep, he didn't have the whole roster of players I think that he would have liked to have had signed. So you've had some shake-up, and you know, maybe they're going to start to find their stroke. Certainly, how about that man, Bayram? He's found his stroke immediately, back up to a 16-point lead. Johnson. And the drive and the deny from Zelionis. Now Johnson has it. Sebutis. And another foul called against the home team. Ugat in the game. There's Delinakaitis. Makes the first and the second. So Gaziantep leading by 14 points in the second quarter. We've got timeout, 7:37 remaining before halftime. Three-pointer, 6 of 9 from deep for Gaziantep. Neptunas, 2 of 6.
The ball close to the line. Okay, if you pass the ball here, open up immediately here. Pass, and bring the ball. 5 men all the way up. Hey, if they play slow,
and 14-10, the rebounding advantage for Gaziantep. That was Rudd. As Bayram getting in on the act, hitting that jump shot. Ugut saves it, gets it to Chinko. And now Bayram has it. Bayram's an interesting player. Freminus over to Hachieva. And good box out from Sabutis. Kadir Bayram. Bayram, just 21 years of age, number 18 for Gaziantep. Jerry Johnson feeds Galdikas. Zelionis goes in and just dunks it right before the shot clock expires. And a foul called. So Bayram's causing some problems out there for the opponent. Look at him. Interesting player. Played for Turkey at the Under-20 European Championship back in 2016 when they finished third. And you never know. I'm sure he's on Ufuk Saric's radar as Turkey go through the World Cup qualifiers. You can never have too many good players. And when you're a player like Bayram, you get a chance to play for Gaziantep, you got to make the most of it. And I'll tell you what, he hasn't put a foot wrong since he's been out there. Look at him. Galdikas. Sabutis. There's Bayram again. And another foul. Atieva and Rudd. Look at this. Bayram trying to make the simple plays. So Jerry Johnson goes out of the game, takes a seat. Oh, nice move, but he didn't finish. Freminus. Zelionis again just goes right to the basket and gets it back to 12 points, the deficit. Zelionis with 8 points now, leading the scoring for his team. It's Rudd that has a game-high 9. And here's Rudd. Doesn't hesitate. Off the back of the iron. Zelionis again. Oh, and a play from Rudd. He's doing everything tonight, folks. He got back on defense. Now he catches it. Now he's going to play the point guard. Says, look out, here I come. Steps back, puts it up, and it's good. Looking tough, Mr. Rudd. 12 points. Bayram helped up. An offensive foul called against Neptunas. Look at this. Boy, that was a great block. I mean, he got to it before it goes off the backboard. Look at this. Perfect timing. So listen to Rudd's numbers. 12 points, 6 rebounds.
He can drive, he can pull at you, what he wants. So take one direction, you are close.
He's already at plus 17.
Overplay. It's a bad defense.
He's got 1 assist. He's got the block shot now. 2 of 3 from deep. He's also got the spectacular alley-oop dunk. Well, it was an alley-oop dunk. I'm not sure if it was spectacular, and he's also getting some treatment for his right eye.
Now on this screen, Patrick can find. Okay, Vic, go back door. Remanis go pick.
Here's some of the highlights. So you see Zelionis driving down and getting the layups, and he's probably thinking he's going to get another one when he goes down the court. But he ends up having it swatted. But he's certainly bringing it for his team tonight. Here's Rudd. Rudd's the man of the hour here in Gaziantep. Although I have to say, the player that really set the tone was this man, Miller, playing cool, calm, and collected at the point. Here he is again. Gets in the lane. Rudd says, "Don't mind if I do." And this time he misses. And the foul on Framenus. So really more exciting than anything tonight is the fact that we've seen Gaziantep come out and play well. They've had some real struggles. But perhaps even more than that is the excitement of seeing some of the new faces in the lineup. Miller, Carter Jr., Bayram. And all of them contributing, as is Rudd, who is just taking his game to the stratosphere so far. 12 points, 6 rebounds. Zelionis crashes the boards, not able to get it. Ugrit. Now Armand. Gaudikas taps it over to Sebudas. Kisielius, bounce pass, Gaudikas. Oh, a little bit of hang time from Gaudikas. Gets you back to 12 points. Maybe Neptunas are about to have a little run here before halftime. Bounce pass, Carter Jr. gets in. Ooh. I think that's a tough call on Gaudikas. Picked up number 3. Ah, no, that's a good call. He moved, he slid into him right at the end. I'll tell you, and really, you know, you look back at the second foul that Gaudikas picked up, the one that got him taken out of the lineup, and that's the killer, and that's what Max Vitas knows. His big man cannot afford to give away cheap fouls because he will end up in foul trouble. No question about it. Carter Jr. makes both free throws. Carter's having himself a nice game as well. 4 points, 3 rebounds. Shulskas hands it back to Sebudas. We're 2:45 remaining here in the first half. Sebudas goes to work on Rudd. Zelionis with the rebound. Oh, he takes it right to him. A little bit of fight being seen here by Neptunas. That's the captain, Gaudikas, looking on, and 3 fouls sitting on the pine. It's pine time for him. Carter Jr. double team down low, so gets it out to Armand. Armand decides to go inside and scores. Oh, that was a strong move from Armand. Shulskas, and the bounce pass gets away, but then Sabuda steps in and steals it and banks it in. So, good alert play from Sabudas. Oh, that was a careless pass from Carter Jr. They got to give Carter Jr. the assist on that. First turnover for Gaziantep. Sabudas gets it. Gets it to Zelionis. Puts it up and in. They just keep coming. They're not going to quit. Neptunas. They get it back to 10 points now, and Markovic burns a timeout. Here it is again, beating the opponents down the floor. Now remember, folks, as you look at that replay, if you go back and you look at the standings, Neptunas come into this game with 6 wins and in 3rd place. Everything to play for these guys. They need to get a win on the road against a team that they beat like a drum earlier in the season to solidify their playoff prospects.
Even against zone, we can dribble, we can play reverse screen, but move the ball. Move the ball. We move the ball against zone 3, 4, 5 times. Every time we find open shot, no problem. Here. Go out, simply, one. Play to the middle, bad help, kick out shot. Okay? Finish it. No, Zuz. Reno, very first play, will be this side, let's play this. Reno, this side. Get the ball, Reno, go in, Shila sam, watch this pass.
Well, that's what we like to do, folks. We like to take you to the huddle so you can hear the coaches, hear the players, get some insight. Because it's what's, you want to hear what's said, and then you want to see if the players can execute. Markovic wanting much more ball movement when his team has the ball. Here's Miller. Miller. Well, it looked like he may have taken a step there. They pass it back out to Ugut. His pass, beautiful play from Ugut to Carter Jr. 12 points the advantage. Shulskas, Zelionis for 3. Long rebound to Shulskas. Shulskas, offensive foul. Oh, he called him with the elbow. That's definitely what happened. And hopefully Armand's okay. Now Miller, beautiful move from Miller, just didn't finish. Sabudas avoids Rudd, and he is fouled by Ook, so he will go to the line for a couple. I tell you, Sabudas earns a good living at basketball because he is a competitor. You can just see it. With his team down, both he and especially Zelionis have come out swinging and have kind of stemmed the flow of points for Gaziantep and also changed the momentum of the game a little bit. Here he is at the line making the first and then the second. So he now has 11 points. Gelionis 12. And Gaziantep will try to hold on to the ball for the last shot. Miller. Ooh. Miller over to Rudd. Wide open. Why not? It's good. He's done it all game long. And he just walks off to the changing room saying, there's more where that came from. Rudd catches the pass from Miller. Feet set. Nobody close to him, really. And then just walks off to the locker room. Says, come on, fellas. Let's go. Let's go have a team talk. So at halftime, Gaziantep lead at 46-33 over Neptunas Klaipeda. Well, 9 of 22 inside the arc for Gaziantep, but look at that, 8 of 14 from deep. I mean, that is an explosion. And Neptunas, just all they can do to stay within striking distance right now. They are out-rebounding Gaziantep. But you can see not really putting too much pressure on Gaziantep, who only have 1 turnover in the game. So Rudd's 15 points are a game high. And see the other statistics. One more thing about Rudd. He's 3 of 5 from long range. He has an assist. And you won't see it, but he is the highest rated player with a +19 efficiency rating. So, Gaziantep fans saying, more Rudd, please. We're at halftime. We'll be right back. Well, folks, you know, from one game to the next, you never know what you're going to get, and I'm not sure how many people would have anticipated Gaziantep getting out and putting 46 points on the board in the first half to lead 46-33. Much of it is owed to that man right there, Victor Rudd, with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and he had that sensational block running down the floor to block Edgaras Gelionis. We haven't seen the young guys for Neptunas tonight. We haven't seen Beliauskas. He hasn't played at all so far. And Mikalauskas, he hasn't played either. They had been getting minutes. We've seen the youngster Jusikas briefly. But overall, it's been, you probably wouldn't say one-way traffic, but it's been a far more impressive first half for Gaziantep. But fear not, Neptunas Klaipeda fans, basketball is a 40-minute game, and you have a chance to turn this thing around in your favor. So 114-73, Neptunas Klaipeda on top of Gaziantep. This is a Group B game. Neptunas currently in third place with 6 wins, and Gaziantep are propping up the table. But you wouldn't know that from the first half. And now the question is, can Gaziantep, which now has Miller, which has Carter Jr., which has Bahram in their team, you know, maybe this is a different proposition altogether. Already Miller penetrates, and they score with the little wraparound pass to Framinas. Galdikas with the 3 fouls, gets inside and draws the foul. So with Carter Jr. out of the game, sensing they might have an opportunity. Galdikas at the line and taking some important free throws, but misses. And he breaks the second one as well. So not how Neptunas coach Kazas Makvidas envisioned the second half starting. Three-pointer from Framing, it's no good. Delinikaitis hits a 3. Back to a 12-point deficit. And the other end, and Miller. It's Miller time once again. He has made such a difference. It's not funny for this Gaziantep team. Which begs the question, where was he? They should have got him earlier. Look at him. Look at that. I wouldn't say it's spectacular. It's just silky smooth, solid. But he doesn't make the free throw. So it goes to a 14-point lead. And the penetration. Now 2-on-1 break. Miller goes all the way. Did you see that little explosion? Hands it off to Armand. Back to a 16-point lead. Where Miller just all of a sudden just shifted into a higher gear. And good box out from Balazic, but then fouls Delinakaitis as he runs past. First one is good. And the second is good. Ball into the corner. Miller gets it quickly to Framinas. What's he going to do with it? Spins. Oh, that was what a move from Framinas. It was like he was dancing around in there. That was like a dance step. Just kind of went to his right, then just kind of rolled back to his left. As easy as 1, 2, 3. Sebutis answers. And right now the team's trading baskets. And now Miller drives in, misses. And Sebutis takes exception to the foul. Okay, it's all right. Now Armand picks up the foul. Armand not liking that. He says, I'm just playing some D. Balazic goes in and Chinko comes in. Balazic goes out, rather. And Sebutis puts up another deep one. Outlet pass over to Rudd. Now Rudd takes the contact before the drive and is fouled. Now, here comes Sebutis. Good play from Sebutis. Just keeps it going. He just has got a motor that doesn't stop. Gets it back to 12 points, the deficit. Markovic, I think, wisely calls timeout.
This kind of special pressure, we can make pin down before, zip up, clean, and we have, because now you play big here, and Patrick is here, so there is no really action. One dribble, then we play something totally different, you know. And they are ready, they are full here, okay? Good pass, he didn't catch well, but continue playing. Don't let them to score in transition. And he was ready to grab the ball. Listen up, one game with Thomas, but Thomas, be patient. Jerry. One game, Thomas. Be patient. Listen up, it's no situation, pass to Simmons. And one more time, shoot.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Давай, don't say.
So here's some of the highlights. So Chinko is going to inbound the ball, and we'll see what type of change, if any, Gaziantep can employ here, can make to stop Neptunas from coming back. Armand. Oh, what a tough, strong move from Sean Armand coming right out of the timeout. Bounce pass and the finish from Zelionis. Here comes Delinikaitis up to Zelionis. Oh, behind the back pass, Zelionis. Oh, look at the passing. Look at Neptunas. And they get it back to 10 points. That was good basketball. Rudd, once again, Victor Rudd shows he's no dud. The three-pointer. He is playing out of his skin and hardly looks like he's breaking a sweat now. He's doing it so easily. Now the pass inside, and Zelionis puts it up. Good pass from Gaudikas. I mean, it is apparent that as well as Gaziantep are playing right now, they're going to have to play all 40 minutes because Neptunas aren't going to go away. And the basket from Miller. And another turnover. Miller, the pass, and Framinas with the miss. And the move from Gaudikas, he doesn't score. So Framinas goes to the bench. So Neptunas need to get a stop. So you see Delinikaitis coming out, and this Miller causing all sorts of problems with his skill level, to be quite honest. I mean, the skill and the heady play. Look at him. He gets in the lane, gives it to Rudd, and he rocks the house. Another dunk And that was a very interesting play because Miller had a couple of guys on him. It looked like they were about to take the ball away, and he was just too strong. They couldn't take it away from him. He had those guns, and Zeliunas has the ball blocked, and Rudd goes up and gets it. Boy, that was a bad sequence for Neptunas. And look at Miller again. Crossed up Jared Johnson and picked up the foul. Well, he played so well for Partizan at the start of the season. So the fact that he's come out and played well here doesn't come as a surprise at all. But what has to be disappointing for Gaziantep fans is that Miller wasn't here from the very beginning of the season. But then again, he probably came to the attention of Gaziantep with his outstanding displays for the Serbian Giants, the Juggernauts. So Rudd goes out. Here's the applause. And Carter. He'd make a good coach one day. They could call him Coach Carter. He makes the first free throw. And the second as well. So 65-51. I'll tell you, this evidence, Gaziantep could be a tough nut to crack over the next few weeks. Jerry Johnson hits the three-pointer. 65-54. And if you look at their schedule the rest of the way, which is what we're going to do here. Here's Miller. Shakes and bakes. Oh, look at the pass. This time throws it in the hands of Johnson. A break. Johnson thought about it. He's going to pull up. He's just hit one. Make it two. But that was a two-pointer. Had his foot on the arc. And he gets it back to single digits. So Ut has it. Hatsieva. Gaziantep play at Ventspils next week. Then they'll be at home to MHP Reeds in Lewisburg. That will be a really hard game. And the ball goes out of bounds back over to Neptunas. So they get a stop. Their last game is winnable. They would play at Elan Chalon. So don't count out Gaziantep yet, folks. They've got 2 wins. But remember, if they run the table and get 6 wins, they've got a shot. They got a shot to progress. The drive and the miss. Connor Jr. with the rebound. And another foul, this one on Kisielius, who's been anonymous today. Again, if you go back and you look at Group B, up at the top are Virastar Tenerife and MHP Reeds in Lewisburg at 9-2. And then you've got Neptunas at 6-4. But after that, you've got Elan Chalon, Ventspils, PAOK, all at 5-6. So Gaziantep, if they get a win today, they would improve to 3-8, and they would be just 2 games behind that trio of teams. And you know, with 3 games remaining, you know, could they do it? Well, I think so. Again, on this evidence. Shulska stepped out of bounds. Neptunas haven't gone away, though, just trailing by 11 points. Good job from that Gaziantep defense, making life difficult. Kaitis guarding the perimeter. Now Armand goes inside. A little bit of extra arc there at the end. Now a foul has been called. and prevents Neptunas from breaking. But good, you know, Armand has shown that he's been very aggressive getting in. And I think the foul was on Shulskas, excuse me, for shoving Chinko out of bounds. It was indeed. So the good call by the ref. Look at Armand. Armand's had himself a nice game as well today. 12 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. And Chinko makes the first to take it back to a 12-point game. Somebody else has to step up for Neptunas. I mean, Kiselius needs to bring a little bit. Shulskas needs to bring something. Somebody else has to step up for this Lithuanian team if they're going to come from behind. We've already seen Jerry Johnson raise his game a little bit offensively with the 2 jumpers. Can somebody else help out? Here's Delinikaitis. Entry to Zelionis. Man, that was just textbook. And Zelionis with the finish. $19 points for Zelionis. He's having a solid game. Hachieva rims out. Oh, ball bounces over to Carter Jr. Long one, good. You see what happens. Ut hits the long jump shot. And that's how the third quarter finishes. You give away those second opportunities and they come back to haunt you. 71-58, Gaziantep on top of Neptunas Klaipeda. A new look Gaziantep. So, just 1 3-pointer in that quarter for Gaziantep, but it doesn't matter. They've maintained their edge. And, in fact, they've still got the 13-point lead. 4 of 11 for Neptunas from deep. 17 of 31 inside the arc. There's Miller. He has been terrific. I mean, it really is interesting when you think about, you look at the box scores and taking nothing away from Rudd. He's been borderline spectacular today. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 26 efficiency rating. But you take Miller out of this lineup, and this isn't happening today. He's got 9 points, 7 assists, and just really kind of set the tone early with his play. And he also played exceptionally well in that third quarter. And you have to give credit to Gaziantep. I don't know if you credit Markovic, if you credit the GM, whoever it is, they decided they needed to change at point guard. They brought in a couple of new ones. They've also got Bayram, who's now in the game, number 18. And foul called on Zelionis. In all honesty, I've enjoyed watching Bayram just as much. That was Hachieva with the foul. Sorry, Hachieva, who was fouled by Zelionis. Zelionis, who was fouled by Hachieva, excuse me. And now the turnover. Oh, beautiful pass. And then just a travel by Gaudikas. And Chinko misses. And then Gaziantep says, I was guilty. Alley-oop pass. Oh! Carter Jr. was going to go up for a highlight reel play, but he couldn't finish it. And he came down hard. Oh, good attempt. You saw him give the signal. I'm sure Markovic would say just a alley-oop with no dunk would do. Interestingly, Neptune is shooting 50% and just 49% for Gaziantep, but they've had 5 more makes. The second chance opportunities. And the Kites misses off. Good strong rebound from Gaudicus. Puts it up and in. I would not give up on this Neptunas team. It'll be interesting to see how long Miller stays out of the game, because I think it all depends on him. Very promising play by Bayram. Here's Ut. Hatsieva. Ut comes in. Nobody there for the rebound for Neptunas. Gaudicus was boxing out Carter, so you can't blame him. Here's Bayram. Look at him. He's shifty, isn't he? Look at that. He didn't finish. $1 million move, but about a 10-cent finish. It still looked good doing it. And he goes to Gaudicus. He was looking to make the pass and then composed himself, and is back to single digits. Ut. Out to Carter Jr. And they are just having an almighty struggle to get a rebound. Well, decent minutes from him, from Hatsieva. Armand comes back into the game. It's a 9-point lead. Ut from deep. And finally, Sabutis is able to get the rebound. Remember, he played exceptionally well in the first half. And I suspect if we see another basket from Neptunas, we're going to see Miller get off the bench. I'd say if there's 2 more baskets, he will definitely get off the bench. That's my prediction. Fields. Kiselius. Oh, the three-pointer. 71-65. Game on. Armand. Ut. And the ball knocked away. Now Sabutis has it. He's going to take it all the way. Neptunas are back in business. It's 71-67. Markovic has to burn a timeout. And you see Miller getting off the bench, but is he coming into the game? Surely he has to. Yeah, he's going to take his seat, and he's coming in.
He makes all the difference. I think it's going to be much harder for Neptunas now with him coming back. Anyway, what a gritty performance. Look at this. Gaziantep with the 20 points from Rudd, 12 from Armand, 12 from Carter. But what you have to like about Neptunas is you just have to keep playing. I mean, you can't stop. You got to play, and they've kept playing. They're playing hard. And now they've got a chance with a little run here. And Sabutis with 21 points.
Go in, it's girl. She must roll. Watch, pull up.
Well, so many talking points about this game. Full marks to Max Vitas for keeping his guys focused and in there. And the foul. You know, you try to climb the mountain, and once you get close, sometimes it's hard to get to the top. So we will see if they have it within themselves. Armand over to Rudd. Good execution. Rudd misses, but again, ball falls kindly. Another offensive rebound, and this time a foul, and they're going to count it. What in the world? If you're Neptunas, you're giving away 3 opportunities, and Armand takes the pain for the team. Look at this. Misses there. And I think the coach is mad at Gaudikas because he left Armand. Kisielius already had his man boxed out. Armand makes the first one. And the miss, and just like that, you feel kind of the air going out of the balloon, going out of the Neptunas balloon. Armand, front back of the rim, another offensive rebound. Somebody, anybody, grab a defensive rebound if you're Neptunas. It's costing you a chance at the victory today, big time. That has to be Gaudikas' ball. Armand getting some treatment over there after that foul. Offensive rebounds today, 12 for Gaziantep, 7 for Neptunas, and Miller is at the line. So they have had 5 second chance points in the last 30 seconds. That's the kind of stuff that makes you lose hair if you're the coach, or your hair turns gray. Max Vitas. Zelionis takes a 3, hits it, 76-70. But the question isn't whether they can score. The question is whether they can get a rebound. Miller pulls up at the line, short. And he almost took that one too soon, Miller. Sabutis hands it off to Gaudikas, can't catch it, but a foul is called, and that is 4 on Gaziantep. It's dig deep time, folks. It is dig deep. Oh, beautiful pass and finish from Kisielius. Good find from Fields. And they cut it back to 4. What a contest. Armand over to Rudd, excuse me. And Rudd gets in the lane and loops it up and in. Boy, his numbers are just stunning today. What a performance. But Fields answers quickly. And now the whiff of the comeback victory is definitely in the air here for Neptunas. The drive, Armand puts it up off the glass and in. .407 to go. Fields at the line. And gets it to fall. Well, Victor Rudd, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. 17 points for Armand now. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. 11 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds for Miller Time. And we've got 21 points for Sebutis, 22 for Zelionis. And we got 2 made free throws that make this a 4-point game again. Here he is again. Miller looked like he may have walked and got away with it. And Miller, interestingly, since he's come back into the game, hasn't been quite as positively influential as he had been early. Missed a couple of shots. Here's Sebutis. Ooh, they needed that one. 3.5 minutes to go. Can this Gaziantep team hold on for victory? Long jump shot, no good. Sebutis grabs it. Misses, but a foul has been called. I'll tell you what, folks, it has been an awfully long time in the Basketball Champions League since Gaziantep have won a game. I mean, you've got to go back to way early in the season before you'd even done your Christmas shopping. I mean, it's been that long. Sebutis gets the first one. And the thing is, if you haven't been winning and you forget how to win, then when you have a chance to win, you start to realize, well, maybe we don't know how to win. And Gaudikas goes up for the tap in and gets it back to a single point. The Gaziantep scorekeeper could hardly believe it. It took a couple of minutes to register those points. And now the turnover, and Neptunas Klaipeda incredibly have a chance to take the lead. And boy, if they come back and win this game, imagine what it would do for their season. I mean, they have faced adversity like nobody's business the last several weeks, and yet they keep fighting. And here they are with a chance to go in front. Fields, short. Oh, that was a tough shot. You got to get a better shot than that. Miller, well, it wasn't his time that time, and Zelionis throws it up to Sebutis. He scores, and he puts Neptunas Klaipeda back in front. Gaziantep didn't get back on defense. Sebutis, cherry picking, gets the layup. Look at this. He released a little bit early. Armand, well, at least he didn't complicate things and commit the foul. point.
You're standing here, and this guy
Yo, he scored already. It's over. It's over.
But they have many fucking games got the same
Yeah,
team.
bro. What the fuck is your problem, man?
Nothing.
Just throw that shit in my fucking foot.
Well, apologies for the language, folks, but Gaziantep are a little, you can see this is the symptoms of a team that has been struggling. They blow the big lead, and now when the coach takes them to task, the players react angrily. You know, why are you yelling at me? So it's all happening with Gaziantep struggling. You know, Markovic had a point. I mean, Armin hustled back, but a little, you know, nevertheless, Sabutis still got out and scored with ease. So, coach has a point. Gaziantep haven't won a game since, just counting it up for you now, folks. They won their opener at home to Capo d'Orlando, and then they won against PAOK 85-82 in Greece. That was October 18th. They haven't won a game since in the Basketball Champions League. So that was before Halloween, for goodness sake. Forget Christmas. Forget Thanksgiving. They haven't won in forever in the Basketball Champions League, and they've got a golden opportunity to do it now. Let's see if the players can pull it, can get it back together here. But again, you have to credit Neptunas as well, because they have just been plugging away. They've just had that self-belief. Rudd. And he got Kiselius off his feet. If he had attempted a shot, he would have had 3 free throws. But he now goes to the line with a chance to put his team back in front. Now he makes the first one. I'll tell you what, for a guy who has been lighting up the scoreboard today, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, he was pretty upset on the bench during the timeout. Rudd. Great free throw shooting for Gaziantep, 15 of 16. Entry pass to Galdikas. Oh, he saw Rudd coming in. He was able to put the ball, move it, score with his left hand. I mean, he is a left-handed shooter, but nevertheless, took a little bit of chicanery up around the rim. Armand. Miller. And another foul, this one on Fields, and Miller. It's time. He goes to the line. Miller makes the first. Oh, good play from Galdikas to knock it off the rim. Tie game, 83 apiece inside the final minute. Galdikas missed, but an offensive foul has been called. Is it Galdikas? Here he is again. Oh, good play from Armand. Defending the bigger Galdikas, draws the charge. So they go to the Max Vitas doesn't like it. Oh, you could just hear Carter Jr. say to Galdikas, "I know you didn't touch him, but the way you turned." Oh, gosh. You got to love the on-court mics. It's really spicing things up. Rudd makes both free throws and continues to thrust himself into contention for perhaps a spot on the team of the week. Who knows? He's at plus 30. Hard to keep a man that's plus 30 off the team of the week, eh, boys? Here we go. Oh, look at that. Zelionis. But he just took plus 30 to school with that move. Zelionis, he's having himself a whale of a game as well. 24 points. He's at plus 25. Chico has it. Final 30 seconds. What a thriller. It's a thriller in Gaziantep. Rudd from deep. Kiselius with the rebound. And very alertly, Sabutis holds it up and gives it to Fields. Neptunas will hold it and try to win this thing, or at least go to overtime. Sabutis. Zelionis goes in, takes the bump, and no foul. So we will have overtime. Well, what about that? 85 apiece. Neptunas and Gaziantep. Gaziantep having led in this game by as many as 16 points, not able to slam the door shut. But you wonder now if Neptunas on a you have to say that was a weak last possession if they're going to rue not taking advantage of that. Well, those are the numbers. Gaziantep, excellent really from deep. In fact, they've cooled off in the second half. They've only hit 1 3. But they've done well at the free throw line. Here's a picture of Rudd. Remember, if you look at who's done what today, Rudd with 26 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. Armand 17 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Those two guys are combined 6 of 13 from deep.
Look, if we go to the handle, 1 to 2 here, okay?
12 points, 7 rebounds for Miller. Interesting, I just felt like there was Miller, when he came back into the game, it seemed like when he went to the bench at the end of the third quarter, he was a different player. When he came back in, he wasn't quite as in control, and you almost wonder if he kind of lost his rhythm by going out of the game. I mean, I know it's only natural that you're going to take him out to give him a breather, but he, for 3 quarters, he was excellent. Interesting, Balazic is back in the game now. Well, folks, how about this? We got ourselves an overtime game. It's like bonus time. Who expected bonus time from Gaziantep today? Rudd. Holy cow, he was going in for the dunk, and he draws the foul. He's just playing at a different level today. He just feels it. He just knows that if you put pressure on the D, he's like, clear out, Galdicus. I'm going to foul you out of the game. So Galdicus exits the contest. Look at the game within the game there. You got Armand saying, look out for the push. And then you got Sabutis chiming in saying, making sure that he gets the word in. Wonderful stuff. Victor Rudd, I might just go ahead and write his name into the team of the week. I mean, the guy's got 26 points now, 7 rebounds. And if he had scored on that dunk, that would have been the play of the week. Sabutis answers. Well, Carter Jr., a little bit of a mismatch there. the fleet of foot Sabutis blew right past him. Here's Miller. And this time, Šulskas anticipating the pass out to the perimeter, knocks it out of bounds. Here comes Rudd again, goes behind his back. Kiselius, he says, you're not going to stop this, but he did miss the shot. Fields, back to Šulskas. Sabutis now. Fields has it. And Zelionis catches it down low, and Miller, alert play defensively. Doing it all today. Here he is. Now he's going to drive in and get to the line. The foul on Šulskas. And he, for complaining, Max Vitas has been ejected from the game. The second night in a row a coach has been ejected from a Basketball Champions League game. Max Vitas is off to an early shower. So he was complaining about the foul that was called on Šulskas, or was questioning it. So it's like everything is falling apart here for Neptunas on this one trip down the floor. The only thing is Miller has missed the free throw. He makes the second. I'm still waiting on confirmation because I didn't see the technical that had been called, but it must have been. Because now Rudd goes to the line, yes, and makes the first. And the second. There goes Max Vitas. He's had better days. I'll tell you what, I don't think he'll care if Neptunas can somehow get a win. Yeah, so they did call the technical. But the drive, and I'm a bit confused because I know, okay, so he has actually picked up 2 technicals. That's what it was. So he got 2 technicals. But it seems like they should have had more free throws. They had the Miller free throws and they had the Rudd free throws. Okay, so yeah, he did get the 2 free throws, so that's right. So anyway, the Gaziantep, it's almost like Neptunas giving it to him. And this time Rudd makes the first but misses the second. So it's a 4-point lead. Still time to go. And like I said, if Neptunas win it, Max Vitas won't care that he's been ejected. But right now, they're trailing by 4. Ukaj Murthia were leading by double digits last night at home to EV Baskets Oldenburg, and Ibon Navarro picked up a couple of technicals after one of his players, Alberto Martin, picked up a technical. So Navarro was also ejected. And shortly after that, Ovi Soko got a technical from Murthia. Oh, the block from Carter Jr., but the ball falls to Zelionis, and then he is fouled. Remember, folks, a crucial game today for both of these teams is they fight to get to the playoffs. And yes, Gaziantep do have a chance mathematically. You would think it would be unlikely, but still anything can happen. And Zelionis makes the first. Misses the second, but follows up the miss. Gets it back. Hands it off. Fields will attempt a three. Kiselius. Oh, he missed it badly. And yet Neptunas will maintain possession. Jerry Johnson's going to come back into the game. Oh, the ball just went right through the hands of Sabutis. So Sean Armand has it. Now Balazic. And Balazic called for the travel. Good defense from Šulskis. Balazic has seemed kind of like not involved at all today. I mean, he usually plays more minutes. He's come back in late in the game. And Miller picks up the foul. Holds his mouth. Yeah, Miller for putting the hands on Zelionis. So Zelionis makes the first one. And the second. And it's back to a one-point game. Now Ut comes in for Balazic. Balazic has 4 fouls. Armand has 4 fouls. Galdicus is already fouled out for Neptunas. Carter spin move. Whoa, what a drive that was from the big man. Armand drives in, misses. Carter there for the tip. Coach Carter puts it in. Three-point lead. 1:45 remaining. Kiselius into Zelionis. He's a warrior. Zelionis. Oh, he goes in and he earns another trip to the line. You want this man on your team, don't you? He is just moving from strength to strength this season for this Neptunas team. He just keeps battling. Look at him. Not seeing much defense from Rudd there. Chinko. Back to a 2-point deficit. Remember, Neptunas had possession with 20 seconds left with a chance to win it at the end of regulation. Oh, good play from Rudd to knock it off the rim. He does something else to help his team win. He is at plus 33 right now, folks. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists in the block. Armand sprays it. Chico! Cha-ching! 96-91. Neptunas. They've come all the way back. They had a chance to win at the end of regulation. They didn't. And now, with this three-pointer falling, the follow-through. Nothing but net. He tickles the twine. Again, great pass from Armand. Great shot from Chinko.
Look,
Okay. Here is Lames. Here is Lames. Schulz Chen. Okay, go to.
Gaziantep still have to show, they still have to prove they can close this thing out. And remember, crazy things can happen. We saw the technical fouls called on Max Vitas. It'll be interesting to hear his press conference after this game. How about that move from Carter Jr.? Do you remember him driving into the lane and then passing it back out? He was showing some nice agility for a center. And Miller's going to sit this one down. He's fouled out, in fact, Miller. So that last foul was his 5th. Sebutis goes behind his back. Jerry Johnson, they got to go to Zelionis. They've got to get it to him. It's going to be Johnson instead. Johnson brings a little bit of rain. 96-94. He has been on target for the most part tonight from the field. 3 of 4 from the floor, 2 of 3 from deep. All of those big points. And now the miss from Armand. And Neptunas with a chance to tie it. Sebutis gets it in, passes out to Johnson. Oh, that would have been a go-ahead 3 ball. But now Ut with the rebound. In the final seconds, ticking off the clock. Rudd's got it. He says, this is my game. I'm going to break it down. 28 seconds now. 9 on the shot clock. Rudd goes to work, puts it up, misses. Carter Jr. with the rebound. Oh, that was huge. That was huge. And what is Armand talking to the refs about? Great talent, Armand. I still think, though, you got to just let the refs do what they do, and you play the game. You don't worry about it. You just play. Bends his knees, makes the first one. Remember, Neptunas came into this game at 6-4. Gaziantep came into this game at 2-8. And the second is good. And also remember, Neptunas won the first game between these two teams, 114-73. Sebutis passes back outside to Schulzkes. He gets swatted out of bounds. And we see the muscle show from Rudd. He broke out the guns. Did you see that? Rudd. They should give him a block for that. Kisielius looking on, a forlorn look. That's a long 2. Schulzkes chases it down. Open, misses. And finally, Gaziantep have stopped the Rock. They have won in overtime. 98-94 over Neptunas. Kazis Mexvitas ejected for Neptunas after complaining about a foul that had been called on Schulzkes. That's it, 98-94. And finally, a win for the team Gaziantep. Spectacular performance from Rudd, it has to be said. And look at Carter Jr. and Gaudikas. They knew each other from their days in Lithuania. Neptunas, without Max Vitas, had to turn to their assistant. And they will live to fight another day. They're 6-5. Neptunas, Gaziantep, meanwhile, improved to 3-8. So if you're a Gaziantep fan, and I know you're out there, you have to be pleased with developments. But also, if you're a Neptunas fan, okay, you lose to a 2-8 team, but you're on the road. You're trailing by 16 points. You battle all the way back to force overtime. 10 threes for Gaziantep, 7 for Neptunas. The free throw line was huge for Gaziantep, 26 of 30. Interestingly, Gaziantep out-rebounded 46 to 38, but they both finished with 14 rebounds. Neptunas had the 23 assists, just 17 for Gaziantep. But you know what? Sometimes stats don't tell the whole story, and the 13 turnovers for Neptunas were costly. Rudd, 31 points. Zelionis with 28. Look at that, Sabutis. Boy, wasn't that far off from a triple-double, was he tonight? Could have been the first triple-double in defeat. But 19 points for Armand, 14 for Carter. Zelionis, the 28, 26 for Sabutis. I mean, you got some team of the week candidates in this game. I know I'm not lobbying for anybody, but I'm just saying. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 block shots, a plus 33 efficiency for Rudd. And here are the standings. And you can see Gaziantep now 3-8. Their need to win their next 3 games to stay in that hunt. And look at Neptunas. Their playoff spot far from secure. I mean, they are right on the edge. They might be in 3rd place, but there are 3 teams chasing them that have 5 wins. So a lot of work ahead for Neptunas. This is a game they probably believe they should have won. They had a chance at the end of regulation. They didn't get a good shot in the end. They did get the ball to Zelionis, but it wasn't a good attempt as he cut into the lane, took a bump. And we saw a lot of Miller throughout the game, and he was terrific for the most part. Here he is again. That was Sabutis Sabutis came to play the whole game. This Gaziantep team just started hitting some shots in the first half and really opened up a lead. But there were a couple of breaks. Oh, nice. So that was one of their best plays of the game there, the sharing the ball. Rudd with one of his dunks. Wondering what the odds are that we'll see Rudd on the team of the week. What are the odds that we'll see him on one of the top 10 plays? Top 5, whatever. Sure we'll see a tweet with his name on it from the Basketball Champions League. You can always follow the action, folks. The Basketball Champions League. Just go to championsleague.basketball and have some fun. Live scoring, interviews, everything. And also, you can follow the Basketball Champions League app. Don't forget, you've got all the press conferences. They're making a great effort to bring you the action both during the game and after it. And again, should be a good press conference after this game. Can't wait to listen in. So Neptunas, who trailed by 16 points, battled back to force overtime. Actually had a chance to win it at the end of overtime. They didn't. The game went to overtime. That was the move I was talking about from Carter Jr. And then Armand came in, missed it, and Carter Jr. finished with a tap. That was a huge huge three-pointer from Chinko. It has been fun. Thanks for watching, folks. One last time in overtime. Gaziantep win it 98-94 over Neptunas.